Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2025 fall season. We've got an exciting best of one, maybe an extra best of one here tonight. But as always, before we get into all the action, I need to introduce my handsome friend to my digital right. D'Lo, how we feeling this evening, my friend?
We're feeling good, Hot Sauce. We unfortunately were not able to catch the air last week around, but we're going to try to make up for lost time and get right back on that Valorant grind here. Like you said, one match for certain, and potentially even some bonus action here to get us right back in the bracket. We're starting off with the quarterfinals, might be moving up to the semis. Either way, high stakes, high pace action, high skill.
That's right, Camus undefeated throughout the regular season. Western Washers or Battleground High School 4-1. Their only loss coming to Camus, and that was a 13-1 defeat. So certainly a little bit of an uphill battle, but an opportunity maybe to seek some revenge here.
Absolutely. You always say it's not just a loss, it's a learning opportunity. That's what the L really stands for, but also what Z stands for, Hot Sauce. Zotac. Hey everyone, we want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase the amazing talent in Scholastic Esports. You can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community on the Discord. Don't forget to use that hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post.
You can always tweet out and let us know who you think might win today's game. Camus, that number 2 seed, the Camus Quesadillas Battleground Western Washers, excuse me. And again, we talked about it. These two teams have met before. It did favor Camus drastically. And so we'll see if Western Washers maybe have a little trick up their sleeve. We're going to be heading to Lotus here. It's one of those 3-site maps that in the past and do typically favor that attacking side a little bit more. So we'll see how it plays out to kick things off. You can see that lovely map behind our friend D'Lo there as well.
Indeed. Got to make sure. I honestly didn't even predict that. I'm just kind of a prophesizing genius. But speaking of prophecy, speaking of what's to come, I see my crystal ball. Whoever wins this match will actually be going up against Lake Stevens, the 3rd seed, as they currently bear the semifinals spot. So, again, it's not just us looking towards the here and now. You also got to look for the whole enchilada, the future, because you're going to be going in theory, if you win this game with momentum, but you also might be going in with a bit of that stamina reserves depleted. So you got to make sure that if you're looking to be in the winning position, which both these teams absolutely are, it's a battle for attrition. It's a battle of resistance.
I mean, dexterity is a huge part when you got to play, best of 3s or more than one best of 1. So Camus, they were able to get through the Western Washers here last time in 13-1 fashion. If they could find another quick win, then maybe that dexterity isn't as big of a factor. But if this is a game that draws itself out, maybe finds an overtime, then all of a sudden you got to wonder about that next game where Lake Stevens is patiently waiting and maybe watching here as well, doing some VOD review, scoping out their potential 2 opponents and seeing their type of play style. So you got to wonder if that is something that potentially could help Lake Stevens here as well.
Well, I'm scoping out the comps, and I'm seeing fade dittos on both sides. You do have the Cypher, which we've all talked about how important that is to have all that intel that comes from him, as well as the traps on the defensive side. The Reyna is dittoed as well, where we see a bit of zigging and zagging of the Omen and that Neon up against a Phoenix and an Astra. I haven't seen Astra in what feels like forever.
I mean, Astra is in a great spot, honestly, and she's very good on a map like Lotus. I think the problem with Astra is she has a higher skill ceiling than most of the agents that you see on the battlefield. So even for veterans can be tough to use if you're not comfortable, confident, and have experience. But I think the fact that we see Astra coming out here lets me know that Battleground is comfortable here on this map with Astra. I think it is a solid pick when used well. They've got a double duelist composition here on both sides. That Reyna we talked about, the Neon, the Phoenix. The run it back is very good here as well, but Neon does excel on a map like this. It's a little bit easier of those rotations on that defensive side when needed. A very fast a runner, a track star, if you will. But we're ready for round 1. Battleground taking on Camus.
What I will say a big difference is that Astra's got just those nebulas, which instantly right there, I was about to say, a lot more smoke in the canister. Phoenix taking the front line, the Vanguard. Mystical has a crosshairs in the right spot, but the shot's just not placed so. Neon Wall comes out as well. A lot of utility being burned early.
On a util, DSW flirting on the other side of this firewall here. Rotom has picked up a kill on the Ninja Don, and now on a 4v5, we see that plant going down. Popple trying to pepper in some damage from a distance. Now Tree Omen sneaks his way out. The slide on in, but Popple puts him down. Tuna, DSW, the trades go back and forth.
Oh, Popple just caught reloading the wrong moment. Did not know there were reserves waiting in the back. Rotom hunts down Scout, finishes off Haven as well. And despite what looked to be a bloody start, Camus actually ended up with 4 members still alive. That feels rough considering how low those health bars were. It's just robbing further funding out from Battleground.
Yeah, it's tough, you know. I mean, the economy is really important in a game like Valorant, and to be able to build it early, just, you know, it's always nice to start off on the right foot, right? And so that's what we see here from Camus, and now Rotom already has an Odin in their hands. Is exactly what I was thinking when I saw it. And this is a weapon that not only is incredibly deadly on a map like Lotus with paper-thin walls in boxes, but a weapon that we often talk about can really frustrate your opponents.
Yeah, just the hail of gunfire. The sound itself is just annoying to deal with. See how we do. We did see Tuna pick up a rifle as well. And we've talked about this before, the lack of concerted buys here. I am a bit concerned by the fact that Battleground, actually, hold on, no, sorry. Battleground actually have done what we asked for, which is not buy in, but that means they gotta really try to scrap it if they want to hope to win this round. It's gonna be a tough battle when already the spike's planted and already you're a man down.
Yeah, we see the Reyna finding one, now rowing him on the Ode, and Chopper's on deck and ready to flex, continues to mow him down. You might not like the sound, but it is music to my ears. A hailstorm of bullets sing out Rotom. Finds 2, but Popple will find Tuna on the slide. Reyna right there to trade it back. Camus puts 2 up, and typically on those eco rounds, you'd like to get a minimum of 2 picks. They find 1, and so that's an important thing. They at least take a little bit of money away from Camus. A full buy round now in store for Battleground, an important one for them.
Popple's hungry for some shimmy there. You seeing that action? Owen getting Tuna every single time. Well, they only got 2 kills, but both of them are on Tuna, and every single death is literally seconds after killing Tuna. Dude says, I want a second roll, please, but that sushi is very expensive. It comes at the cost of, unfortunately, a second round, but Battleground have hope. Like you mentioned before a million times over, Hot Sauce, as long as you're saving the econ and making concerted, cohesive buys with the team, you can try to stake your way on the comeback.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose round 1, you're not expected to win round 2, so don't make it worse for yourself. You eco out, you're able to buy together now and look to take that bonus back in your favor here, but with the Leers coming in from Reyna, they'll be able to pressure onto the site. Astra, Stars coming into play just a bit late, have been smoked off. The powers go out as well, or the Haunts, but unfortunately, it's going to be another quick plan here.
Despite the flash, actually, Astra took no poke damage, which feels great. Battleground, despite having to be now faced with the retake. I was about to say are not worse for wear, but Mystical's already been burned away by DSW. It's a flank attempt to try to round them around, and look at that, 2 members apiece on each side, but Ninja Don and Pavel combined to make it an even 1-to-1 Battleground stand, Duelist versus the Omen.
All right.
No!
They only need 1, and it's DSW to find it, and these rounds have been so close for Battleground. I mean, there's 2 of them now. It's just been separated by that single kill, but at the end of the day, that's why Camus has been undefeated. They've played so well throughout the regular season, and they continue to do so in the postseason. We're going to see a scrappy buy here from Battleground. They're starting to feel that pressure. Most of the members staying around that 1,700 mark where they should still be able to buy in that following round. But if Mystical doesn't find a pick here, might find trouble buying into that following round.
And Rotom staying with the Choppers. Got that Odin at their hip. There's a sniper equipped on the side of Battleground, but Mystical, once again, always the first to the fight, but always the first to drop without getting much utility for the team. DSW does drop Ninja Dama. Pablo answers back on the Reyna. Tuna, this time, going to be the bigger fish as they gobble up the Reyna in turn.
Bigger fish in the sea this time, says Tuna. Shifting through elbow, trying to make their way around Haven. Up in toward Heaven's side, but it's Tuna who pops the ult, the point and click, and my is it sick. The triple kill coming out from Neon and Camus. Now up to 4. The last time these 2 teams met was that 13-1, and Camus, I think, feeling very confident. They don't want to get overconfident, but I mean, it seems like they are just playing so well together yet again.
Dude, the last place you want to be is in a long open corridor with that overdrive pop. Just amazing ult rotation there on the side of Tuna. And look at what we have left in the wings from Camus. They still have resources. Ronom has the Fatal. You have Reyna available, and Pobble has been doing a pretty solid job, but the issue is Pobble's not really been able to pop off, per se. They get one kill oftentimes and trade their life. Now's the time to really prove you're the queen, but Tuna once again says, I'm bigger on the food chain.
A few trades come in here as we see Diamond Dude able to pick up on the Mystical as well. It's a 4v3 that favors Camus Ninja. And now Reyna dipping back to safety here as well. The Prowler on the other side will shift back toward Elbow, but it's all been smoke and mirrors. The distraction is done. The plant will go down on the C side, and now it's going to be a tough rotation here for Battleground.
Okay.
They catch Reyna off guard, though, and all of a sudden it becomes much more feasible.
This feels good. This feels very good, especially because you don't have Ronom alive. The Astra do not the most offensive character, and also that high skill ceiling you mentioned. Sky's the limit, but first, gotta look up to destroy the util, ensure your safety. Into the Omen smoke we go, but smoke and mirrors, the Cyber Cage, as well as the Nebulas. You're only obscuring your own vision, and the spike is still planted, and you're dead.
Dead indeed, and now it boils down to one member here. This Fade, as an Odin, could certainly make it work. Unfortunately, time stacked against him. You can hear it begin to dwindle away quickly. The beat beginning to increase in pace. There's one from Waterfall. DSW secures another round and barely escapes the explosion of the bomb at the heels. But man, does it got to feel good if you're up by 5 here to open things up. Battleground still trying to get that economy in check just a bit. It looks like they'll have a full buy, but not quite the armor that you were hoping to see. There's a couple ults to work with, but equally so on the side of Camus.
Ninja Don says, if you can't beat them, join them. Picks up an Odin of their own. I want to be Ronom when I grow up. I would too. 5 and 2 is awfully scary. Mystical and Scout, unfortunately, having a really rough game so far. And Double Duelist, you're really relying on this Phoenix to be able to kill them, then run it back, then do it all over again. But first, you just got to get a kill on the board.
Ninja will find one. It's immediately traded back, though, as Tuna does go down here in the mix. Outlaw in the hands of Mystical will have to back off as you can't see anything at the moment. Ronom shifting back the door, maybe just an audio cue for a distraction, and it looks like it worked. Battleground takes the bait. Everybody on the minimap shifts toward the A site. Cypher will gain control through Waterfall, and this is going to be a tough rotation now for Battleground.
Oh no, already they brought the paranoia just to ensure that no one's there waiting. Ne'er-do-wellers lurk in the deep. And yeah, these retakes have not been successful so far. 5 rounds up against you, a minute left on the clock, but that'll shortly be shortened by this plant coming in from Ronom. Camus, I've gotten it off, and Battleground realize the ruse, but can they respond? Not if you're Mystical. They're dead.
Diamond Dude, some sweet chin music. Couple clicks to the dome, and it's all she wrote. Pablo on the leader, broken immediately, and Diamond Dude will find another. He's on fire as Ronom on the Odin. Look to destroy utility. Spots from a distance. The spray is good. The transfer not quite there. Scout on the Sheriff will release the Deagle Demon, but it's immediately snuffed out here by Reyna. Camus will continue the flawless first half so far. They've got 6 unanswered rounds.
Deagle Demon, but we brought an Exorcist. 6-0, baby. Camus are looking to put Battleground back in their place. Say, y'all thought you were hot. Y'all thought you could come back to contest us? No, it's going to be the exact same result. You know, these kids are in high school. Crack open the history books, guys. They tend to repeat themselves. Battleground have got to really try to change up some sort of tactic to ensure their safety, or else it's just going to be the same story we've seen over again. Mystical, I feel like, has been rocking these long-range options, these scouts, but you're a Phoenix. You need to run in with your life in your hands, die, and then go back in, guns a-blazing.
Yeah, you've got that run it back. Let your teammates follow you in. So even if you do die, they get that trade at a bare minimum, and all of a sudden you've got a player advantage to work with. They've got 3 ults, and they got to start letting some of them fly here onto the site. Tuna will dash in. Haven goes down. Diamond Dude will find Scout as well, and Camus continues to let the domino effect be in full effect. Tuna, great positioning. Catches Mystical with utility in hand. Reyna, tag team back again. Whoop, there it is. It's another flawless round for Camus High School.
We're just not using these ultimates, right? We have 3 of them at this point, and what I fear is going to happen, Hot Sauce, we're going to see 2 or even 3 potentially be used in 1 round, and even then, your victory is by no means guaranteed up against the 3rd seed of Camus. You've got to see these be used. There's no perfect time ever, but there's also not going to be a better time than now. You might as well try, especially on a Phoenix. It comes back so quickly, Hot Sauce, that you might as well try to toss a roll of the dice and see what you get.
Yeah, when you're Phoenix, you're using it as soon as you get it, if not the next round. You allow it to follow in. You get that pick or that trade. Cypher can pop the ult for the intel. It lets you know what site you need to pressure, and then you've got those howlers should you need them. But Tuna says, oh, let the guns do the talk, and it's a nice headshot to open it up.
Got the wall from the Phoenix, but that does not matter. Tuna says, water beats fire typically. I'm just going to swim my way on back. This is the real Apex Predator. Does get to run it back off Mystical. And Mystical's got intel, but just because you know where Tuna is does not mean you can outshoot them. They're going to prove my point and take out Ninja.
We'll see Tuna up into the side. Mystical
Nice.
able to find this pick onto Tuna, though, and that could open things up a little bit. They're still at a player disadvantage. We already see that spike ticking away, holding this rotation. Reyna, Diamond Dude, they combine for a 3, and Camus, not quite the flawless round as the previous couple, but they only lose a member. They continue to invest in these stonks and bonds. Everybody almost at max credits. They've got a few ults still to work with. We did at least see something come out. We saw that run it back from Mystical there as well, so they are starting to get a little more involved, but at this point, I say just use him. You'll get him back. Try to solidify at least one round and give yourself something to build off the back of.
It's not the most interesting point to make, Hot Sauce, but Camus's crosshair placement is just better. Like, at the moment, we just see Tuna always going upper torso. They are shooting with lethal intent. Battleground, I feel like they're playing paintball. You guys got to try to want to kill your opponents, like Rotom is. Mystical's already dead.
Yeah, well, this Odin, I mean, it's tough to deal with, especially in the right hands, and Rotom has seemed to have one in their hands for the entirety of this game so far, and he continues to let it sing on out. Prowler defeated immediately. They've got the leer there as well, and it's a team that's working very well together. Ninja, the K tucked in toward the back, will have to dip in, and Rotom already finding a plan here as Reyna finds a 2K.
Okay, Scout and Haven, though, do answer back, though unfortunately, Scout celebration quickly cut short by the death song of the Odin, fathered once again by the Lord of the Pantheon. Reyna finishes the job, an amazing 3K for the Duelists in a 9th round in favor of Camus.
9 rounds in
Tuna's
a
got
row
knocked.
in a playoff game as well. It's no easy feat. This team looking to steamroll their path into the next matchup against Lake Stevens. Could they be able to solidify the dub here? They're looking at a flawless half. They wrap this one out. Tuna 12-10, Reyna 10-3, 9-3, 7-2, 7-3. I mean, you look at all of these numbers combined with the plethora of assists, and it's just near perfect Valorant coming from Camus.
There's a reason why God didn't give tuna fish sniper rifles. It's because we're about to see war crimes committed. We're about to see what happens when a David Attenborough documentary goes wrong. Tuna, top of the leaderboards, but Diamond Dude saying, I will not be outshone, drops Pobble to start things off.
Beautiful headshot. Hey, you mentioned it earlier, the crosshair placement. I mean, everything aligning here for Camus. The swing around the corner, the spray through the wall finds one. Diamond Dude taps to the head. It's 2 to the dome and a 6-foot nap as Tuna finds Ninja. And Phoenix all alone with a Guardian here trying to do the dance of death around the firewall. Surely, but it's DSW to the rescue. Another flawless round for Camus. And I mean, how do you slow this team down?
Dude, nearly a flawless of a flawless. I think Tuna had a small nick in their health bar, probably a paper cut. They probably accidentally stubbed their finger on the trigger of that op as they just let it sing. 13-6 is disgusting work considering how aggressive Tuna plays, but that is not going to stop anytime soon. Ninja's on the sniper this time around. I like that a bit better. Leave Mystical to get a bit more aggressive. Haven's got ult, Scout's got ult. There's a chance, but the issue with that Cypher ult, of course, is the neural theft. You first got to steal someone's life.
Yeah, and Rotom's already going to catch Ninja off guard here. It's been problem after problem. Tuna on the gun, but Scout immediately shuts him down. That's a big one. And now they'll get the intel as Cypher goes bald. Reyna has found Mystical in the mix-up, and now, all after all, we're seeing them all unleashed, and DSW rains down. Now Rotom finds Scout.
Dear God.
DSW will turn Pobble into a pebble, and Camus will go to 11, 1 away from a flawless first half.
Jeez, man, it just feels like Camus have they're like a mini boss where if you take down one member, all of a sudden everyone else just gets an enraged buff. All of a sudden Tuna's dead. All right, we'll just, do the rest of the work ourselves. And not like we don't have killers on the rest of the side of the Camus squad. And that range is clearly proving it. 12-3. I will say, Tuna, the downside of course, being very aggressive, you're a bit higher on the death board, and that's where the rest of your team's conservative play definitely makes up for. Battleground, unfortunately, for all of their wariness that it feels like they have, they're not being paid back for it in terms of kills.
Yeah, it's been tough. Diamond Dude catching Ninja here as well. They hear all the intel, and Diamond Dude, Ronem, good for 2. Scout, again, taking out Tuna here. But they're at a player disadvantage yet again, D'Lo.
Problem, man. That was your job, take down Tuna, but now instead maybe you can try to drop Diamond Dude. Mystical instead takes them out with the Odin. Fathered by her own Patriarch. How does it feel? Molly comes out, but it's not going to find a target. And make sure to watch your back if you decide to enter in stage left. They are lurking around those corners. Run it back, though. Get to the intel you need.
SW tucked in with a shorty Pavel. Tries to make the way onto the site, using the Leers to force them back a bit. It's a 3v3. Fade, not a ton of help. Stepping out. Pavel's found one. He shifts to safety. They gotta get through 2 more. And now that diffuser, though, out in the open. Mystical finds one. It's Ronem out on an op, though, and they're going for it.
Nice!
Mystical has found the kill. But we listen in. Is there enough time? It's going to come down to the absolute 1.09, and they are denied a flawless half for Camas High School.
Switching sides.
What? Oh, it said clutch. I forgot which team is which. I'm so pissed. Yep, I'm so upset. Okay. Whatever, man. Whatever, dude. All right, Camus, just have your cake and eat it, too. 12 rounds flawless. Battleground, you're facing an awfully uphill battle.
Man, 9/100ths of a second away from finding that clutch and getting their first round on the board. It could have been that single spark to ignite the spectral fire, to rekindle that flame, but it gets taken away by Ronem. First from the Odin, and now the Operator as well. They've got 12 rounds in a row, and they only need 1 more to close it out. The pistol round and every round after, a must-win round for Battleground.
Oh, man, what's the strat even? Like, Tuna's gonna just swim right at you. You take them out, cut the head off the fish. That's good. Cut that up and call it dinner. But then what do you do with the rest of the team, man? Diamond Dude with these flanks has been destructive for their backline. Does not seem like anyone is marking them. I feel like Battleground is very forward-focused, which makes sense. Gotta look towards the future, but you're not going to have a future in a moment. You're literally only focused on the present round. You have a couple minutes to calm down, ease those nerves. But man, oh man, you really don't want to see this happen again, especially after they were already swept up in similar fashion.
Yeah, for Battleground, I feel like you needed at least 3 rounds on that defending side. The nice thing is it's a 3-site map, and you're going to be on that attacking side. So typically we see, 2 or 3 toward that A site, 1 around B, 1 on C. And so, yeah, at least you have that numbers advantage. No matter what site that you're pressing, you're usually looking at a 5-on-2, 5-on-3 at the most, potentially a 5v1. And so you can use those numbers. Even if you lose a member, you get that pick. It opens up the site. You find a plant, and then you begin to look at 1 kill, 1 round at a time. So typically on an attacker side or map, like a 3-sided map, you have that favorite of numbers. You have to use that to your advantage. Battleground needs the buddy system, and they need to make sure that if they're not winning that initial gun battle and finding that first pick, that they are finding that trade at a bare minimum.
And even that just seems such a tall ask. On the side of Camus, though, if you're a Camus fan, you are humming a little ditty to yourself. You're feeling good. It's what you mentioned at the very beginning, Hot Sauce, that dexterity, that battle of attrition is not really necessary if Camus can speedily find a way. In fact, it might even be like a bit of a boost. It's just a little warm-up, essentially. You get the fingers nice and warmed up, but you didn't really cost yourself too much mental wear and tear going into that semifinals. In fact, you'll be just feeling like you're $1 million instead.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's in double digits here for Camus. I mean, 10s across the boards, 12s, 13, 14, and not many deaths, as we've mentioned. You got 2 players with 9 assists apiece. It just goes to show you how good this team is together.
Yeah, this is how you got to win it. And be it the fate of either side, lose it as well you shall as a team. Rotation on in, but Ronem's already caught them out. Pavel's down for the count.
Well, the first to go down here for Battleground. Diamond Dude holding down this seaside as Cyphers tend to do. Shots from a distance. Rotom credited with the
Oh.
first. Now the Sheriff Arena will collect another. Out of pressure
Soul.
forward here, and really they're just winning the gun battles. Mystical will find one, sneaks to the firewall, but it's not enough. Tuna will dish him up, and with that 13-0, a flawless game now for Camus as they get ready to take on Lake Stevens in that semifinal.
At the firewall, but I have Nord virus protection, says the Neon. Just overall, man, the amazing intellect in battle, as well as the amazing team cohesion, and just, again, solid fundamentals of understanding where to put the reticle. Combined, it's a very hard thing to beat. It makes for one tasty victory, one delicious quesadilla.
I mean, you look over there, and for Ninja and crew, they only have one first blood. It's hard to win rounds when you're not getting opening picks, at least here or there, whereas everybody's got at least one on the side of Camus here. So we knew it was going to be a tough game for Western Watchers. I mean, their regular season ends at 4-1. They have a nice postseason run, and so it's just back to the drawing board. And you know, it's hard to make adjustments throughout games, but during that off season, you've got time for VOD review, you've got time to pub and play together with your friends and your teammates to allow that team synergy to grow. So we'll look forward to seeing the Battleground back in the action in the future. But as for now, Camus will be that squad advancing on to take on Lake Stevens here in just a few moments.
Indeed, so as they prepare themselves, they get their water wings on board, they put on their bathing suits to take the plunge on in. Tuna says, I live in the water, baby. That's just where I want to be. Well, maybe not a lake fish, but nonetheless, we as well. Let's get our life vest strapped on and make sure the lifeguard's on duty. So stick around, more WSSEA Valorant action right after the break.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2025 fall season semifinals. We saw Camas punch their ticket into this game to take on Lake Stevens, but can they get two in a row? We are back on Lotus, still in the booth, hot sauce, with my handsome friend D'Lo. Are we ready for some more Lotus, my friend?
Yes, we are. You can tell. I knew it somehow. Like you said though, in the green room, man. I somehow just randomly rolled this map, but Lady Luck was on my side. Do Camas need luck? Absolutely not. They got the skills to pay the bills, but will the electricity run out today? We'll find out as they step up to Lake Stevens.
Both teams 5-0 throughout the regular season here as well, and continuing in this postseason run. Camas, that number 2 seed.
Yep.
Lake Stevens, that number 3 seed. It really doesn't get any closer than this, and it's only a best of 1, though. If you want to try to get in toward that finals where there are 2 other teams duking it out, I believe it's Southridge and Rogers that will be duking it out here today as well. So at some point, we'll find out who the winner of this game will be playing, but I don't know if I envy any of them because there is so much talent littered across these top 4 teams.
It's a clash of the Titans, man. It's a clash of Vikings versus Quesadillas. I know canonically who the winner should be, but I don't know. Maybe Vikings' digestive systems aren't prepared for what a quesadilla will do to wreak havoc upon that. I know sometimes I can be in a bit of trouble after some Taco Bell late at night, but let's see if that neon is as deadly this time around as a $1 burrito is to my stomach.
Hey, you don't know what's packed inside those quesadillas. Maybe it's, a couple hand grenades, some of them vandals, something going on in there. So we'll have to wait and see. The old Trojan horse, if you will. But Camas, Lake Stevens, 2 legends about to clash head-to-head on Lotus. This time for the semifinals of 2025 fall season. We'll see you taking a look at some of these compositions here. And for Camas, it looks like what we previously saw there in that
exact same
that matchup. So, I mean, at 13-0, why would you change it?
Yeah, makes on the same map, too. In a sense, again, Camas kind of have a massive advantage. They are warmed up in knowing what this composition is able to execute on this very map, no less. And they're up against an Astra and a Fade. Again, though some of the ingredients to this sauce have changed. Killjoy, Breach, and I'm sure you're happy, Reza is going to be also joining the squad.
Love me some Raze action. Killjoy has been kind of, my new main for the last year or 2, though. So love to see them both out here, but still got to get the job done. That pistol round, it helps set the tone and the pace for the next following couple rounds here. And we see that Stampede headed toward the C. Cypher all alone. Quick rotations, though, coming in here from Camas.
So far, it isn't only a single duelist, must be noted as opposed to double duelist comp. Speaking of, Reyna in trouble, but Diamond Dude actually backs them up, and Reyna takes the Soul Orb to instantly find their hasty retreat. So far, advantage Camas.
Well, shots continue to ring out. Ronan, K-Pie will find 2 apiece to answer back. And it's big from K-Pie, but Tuna shuts it down immediately. The spike will fall here. And now it's an absolute slugfest. Panda, Tuna, good for 3. And Camas will take the important pistol round.
Again, man, 2 duelists stand at the end. What better way to symbolize how maybe important it could be to lock in more of that food group. But that being said, Lake Stevens, looking at their composition, what do you think is their game plan? What advantages do their picks bear?
I mean, they're only running a single duelist here, and they're starting out on the attacking side. I feel like they are a little bit more defensive favored as far as the setup goes. So ideally, I think you're just looking to get at least 4 rounds here. And so you want to make sure you're ecoing together. They're doing that here in round 2 so they can ensure that full buy in round 3. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It was just a very close pistol round they happened to lose.
Oh, paint shells come out, and the shells from the SMG are even more deadly. Breach has got the blast, but already Raze has been destroyed. Spike is planted, but Camas have the manpower for the retake.
Got the numbers, Stingers, and Spectres in hand. Rotom, DSW. There's 2 in succession, and Lake Stevens only 2 standing. I don't even have enough fingers on both hands to count the amount of flawless rounds that Camas has put up here today. They're looking for 1 more. They're not going to get it, though. K-Pie, Panda, they try to answer back, but it's Diamond Dude on the Stinger. No one is safe. Camas up by 2.
A worthy attempt from Lake Stevens, but Man, oh man. Camus proving just how big a number 2 seed difference can be from the 3. And guess what Rotom got for Christmas? It might be a bit early in the month, but nonetheless, Santa got you that big fat Odin? Or maybe not.
You better hope not. Rotom was a menace in that previous one with the Odin and says, you know what? If you guys are, he can hear us subtly asking for it. So subconsciously he knows Rotom will scoop up the Odin and things might get a little bit more dangerous now for Lake Stevens.
I don't think St. Nick should be giving that to kids. Seems like a poor idea. But they've been on the nice list. They're about to be awfully naughty, though, if someone gets in their crosshairs.
Well, not too often we get to hear a pin drop throughout these maps, but it's a little bit of the ambient sounds of Lotus before the beautiful chaos rains down. Shots to the smoke, no real damage just yet as Reyna will pop the door and begin to look for more. Berkey, Vandal in hand, able to destroy that Lear away. Back to safety here as well, and it looks like maybe a quick rotation coming in for Lake Stevens.
I really like that from Berkey, actually, just destroying the utility, but recognizing that maybe you don't want to force the issue too much further. Zika, unfortunately, does not have similar restraint as the Reyna devastates their last duelist left. Around the corner, Diamond Dude comes, and Diamond, but K-Pi is the one in the rough as they go down as well.
That's really tough because Reyna finds that kill with a pistol, gets to upgrade to the Vandal, take money away from Lake Stevens, and this is supposed to be their full buy round. This is the round that on paper they should be able to solidify away. Camus can steal this one. He should put one on the back end of it as well. Rotom on the Odin continues to be that nuisance here. It has a little help, but Lake Stevens has found the plant. Time is on their side, and Panda will find another pick.
There. Paranoia comes through as well. All the utils going to be placed in for Tuna to just instantly get dropped the moment they show their face, but the Odin responds on back. DSW trades for Panda to 1-1.
You hear him teetering around. Baits that defusal. Parky will quicken the pace.
No!
And Parky threading the needle against the Odin nonetheless. Lake Stevens needed this round. And boy, do they get it. They look to bounce back. They cut the lead in half, and now within striking distance of tying it up. But you look at the economy, and it's a little bit rough for Lake Stevens. I mean, they're trying to decide, do they want to force in with some Buckies? What exactly do they opt to do here? And maybe playing around that hero rifle, keeping the funds around that 2K mark is most likely the best idea.
Not only did Lake Stevens need that round, I think we in the booth needed to see that round just to make sure that Camus could bleed, because we have gotten literally no proof until now that they are capable of even making a mistake, but even so, they played it pretty gosh darn close to the vest. Zika, unfortunately, cannot say the same. Tuna already sending 3, sleeping with the fishes at the 4K before they finally fall.
Tuna, what is going on? That was 4 nasty ones, as Reyna says. Hey, not without me or not. Let me get a piece of the pie. Finds that final pick there, and Camus will continue to put rounds on the board. We always talk about how important it is to be able to not just win a round, but to be able to put multiple rounds on the board in a row. That's something that Camus has had no issues with. Lake Stevens not quite able to do that yet. They get one round on the board. Things not out of hand yet. Now they've had the funds in the bank. They got a full buy. They really need to try to reel it back and keep this one close.
I expect to see an ult on at least one side fly, but you have the overdrive from the Neon. You have the Reyna up far ahead. Drops down the Lear and gets popped, but again, Zika just goes down without a sound. This raise is wreaking no havoc.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get things going, and you just need that 1 or 2 pick to really kind of reignite yourself, to get that confidence booster back. And maybe it's something we'll have to wait for that showstopper to see, but it feels rough to get into a rut early, especially against a team like Camus, where you really can't afford to, especially in an important playoff game that is only a best of 1. There's still no room for error here, and Camus is the type of a squad that's going to make you pay. They're going to capitalize on any mistake they see in front of them. But Berkey, what a nasty dome shot onto the Reyna.
That's super important. We have this lockdown from the Killjoy, but the issue is, do you try to use it to force them to back off point so you can just play the spike, and then they still have even number odds for the retake, but Berkey answers back and fries up the fish.
Yeah, typically, you want to hold on to it as a retake to force them off the site. Unless time is low, maybe there's only 20 seconds on the clock, you can really deny that positioning there. And we see him get this plant down. They still hold on to the lockout, so that's going to be great here as well. Ronan's going to try to get some intel from these Prowlers. This Astro wall is really keeping them at bay.
He's out the util, but Diamond Dude finds two. Shining hope there for the team is on the Odin as well, but Ronan's the one who sprays down the Panda. Endangered species, more like extinct, but Parky, man, it's a walk in the park for him. Drops down 2 and finds the second round for Lake Stevens.
Oh, Diamond Dude says you can't park there, mate. Easy pickings and Lake Stevens. They looked a little bit tough in those first couple rounds. Maybe they stumble just a bit from that pistol, but it seems like they're beginning to find their stride here. Parky 7-3, Panda not too far behind. And even Berkey at 2-5, we saw that crazy clutch in the previous round to get their first one on the board. And so subtle steps in the right direction can potentially turn that snowball into an avalanche, and they're going to need it. Camus has 4 ults on deck.
I think I'd like to see Zika just play a bit more to the back line. So far, they've been going down very quickly without really getting too much off. I want to see them get more rotations of those abilities off. Get the Roomba out. Sure, let it take the fire instead of your face.
Yeah, it's not too bad as long as they, maybe they blast back in, they lose their life. If that trade comes in quickly, it's not too bad, but you'd like to see them at some point find some of those opening picks, whether it be with that util, the paint shells, the Roomba. But you're exactly right. We need to see just a little bit more. And if it's not working right away, then sometimes you switch up that strategy. Your duelist doesn't always have to be that first in. You want to make sure they're getting picks as well, getting comfortable, and getting where they need to be. Unfortunately, they have all found themselves in a shallow grave because Rotom continues to let this Odin sing out, and it's a melody of death.
Saint Nick, you really got to reevaluate your criteria for giving these children heavy machinery. But nonetheless, Parky might be the one to do it. Unless this overdrive comes right on through. Aim is on point, and Panda gets zapped. Parky's going to fall as well. Don't think you can park there, buddy. Only the Killjoy remains, but I don't think there's any happiness in her future as Neon approaches.
Almost out.
Yeah, I think the joy might soon be taken from the Killjoy here in a moment. It's K-Pie. We'll see if she can serve up a dish of death themselves here. Timing is everything, and they just slip away. But the pincer play coming in now. Tuna and the crew lock it down. It's another Odin, this time in the hands of Diamond Dude. And Camus doubles up on the lead now, 4-2.
These Odins are just disgusting. Look at that. Double Odins. That's just a lot. That's just a lot. And it's, again, not just the firepower. It genuinely is the frustration of feeling like you can't move. You are restricted. You are locked down. And you are the offensive team. You're the one supposed to be getting moving. We have ults in pocket, but when are we going to see them get let rip? This Breach has been sitting on it for, I think, about 2-3 rounds now.
And that Rolling Thunder is such a good one, especially to pressure and clear on the site here. So Reyna, up close and personal, has that trip to work through here as well. Looks to counter with the leer, the blast back in.
Wow!
No, it doesn't connect. The troubles for Zeke continue. DSW. Shoe sale, baby, and he finds a big one. Rotom, Berkey goes down. 5v3. It always seems like the numbers are stacked in favor of Camus.
I mean, the first leer got popped, and then Reyna said, ha, I have 2 eyes, dummy. Binocular vision, it's a thing. Rotom got an Odin, it's a thing. And unfortunately, K-Pie finds out firsthand just how dangerous it is. Tuna drops Parky, and only Panda left. They've been wiped out too. Flawless round for Camus.
Another flawless round for Camus, and again, the Odin. It's so much fun when you're using it. You love to be that annoying guy who just mows down everybody and frustrates them. At least I do, but man, on the other side, it's like, can you use a different weapon? Is there anything else you can use? I try to taunt people into getting off the Odin because it's so devastating. It's so annoying to deal with. And I mean, some of these walls are paper thin. When you add the fact that there's an Odin spraying through it, it creates so many issues, especially for an attacking team trying to find some space at any site.
I'll tell you what's thick. The armor plating surrounding 5 members of Camus. I'll tell you what's thin. The membrane around Zika's skull as Tuna finds the 3K once again, but Berkey answers back with one of their own. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Anything you can do, I can do better. is correct. Berkey answers back, and that's how you shut down some momentum quickly gathered by Camus, but they've got to be careful. There's a long lurking flank coming in here from Reyna. Cypher shifting through the spawn side here as well, and they've got some time, and they've got some ults. They need to play together here. The Breach one can deny the defuse as well, but it looks like Reyna may just be going in, and Leers would be good, but doesn't even need him. The peak is there for free, and Breach has been spotted.
Your soul is mine, but Panda's gonna become a carnivore and gobbles up the Reyna right after. Concussed, dazed, Diamond Dude's gotta find a way on in. Is the defuse or is it taking out the life of the Breach? With that charge placed, that defuse is not an option. Panda's stalling out for a good amount of time.
Doesn't even need to use the Rolling Thunder here. Great situational awareness, great decision making, but Panda can't quite get out alive. Does in fact bamboozle our friend in Cypher here though, and with that, we'll see another round for Lake Stevens. They're doing a great job of keeping it close and on the attacking side as well. So we'll see if they can get a couple extra more rounds in the bag. Camus, they continue to invest well. They always have the economy in check because they consistently put rounds on the board. And so despite losing a round, they still have a full buy, and it looks like they still have 2 Odins.
Situational awareness was a good word to describe the ending of that round. Panda placing down that aftershock because it's just on enough of a delay that you know you can't get a full defuse off, and you're also at the same time knowing that you kind of have to win the round. So that having that breach as the last line of defense was really quite the serendipitous moment there for Lake Stevens, but still 3-5. They're not doing too shabby, especially considering that you're only looking to get 4 rounds like you asked for, Hot.
Well, we'll see that showstopper come out. Zeke not able to find a kill with it though, and again, still searching to get on the board to get something happening, and now it's trades back and forth, but it's mainly green in the kill feed. Tuna will find 2 more, and things quickly beginning to fall apart. Berkey trying to be that shining star once more. We saw a crazy clutch earlier, but he's going to need 3 picks here as the Prowler goes out.
They got the Odin, but this is... Oh, sorry, rather the other. Fate has got the Odin. This is take down the Phantom's approaching, but Reyna is the far scarier Spectre. Camus doubles the lead, 6-3. Not too shabby, but again, Lake Stevens can certainly look towards the defensive end once they switch sides, but you got to make sure that not only does your team comp survive until then, but the mentals as well.
The scary thing is, too, is that this tends to be a little bit more of an attacker-sided map. Now, at the Scholastic level here, it does vary from team to team, so that can be one thing, but we've seen Camus on attack. We've seen them 12-0 on that side. In fact, 13-0, and so Camus also has a team that's built for attack. They've got the double duelist. They've got Neon with the explosiveness. They've got Haunt or Fade for the intel and Omen for the smokes. They've really got the complete package here to do exactly what they want to do on Lotus. And well, it looks like they continue to do so. Reyna will find this one on the K-Pie, and the Odins will begin to ring out once more.
Already, you see Zeke is just dropped down to red health. The Killjoy realistically should have gotten shots off of the Reyna. They're busy looking at the sky instead of looking where the head of their opponent would have been. A good concuss, but do you find any corner peeks around the actual kill? Not really quite yet. Paint shells are out, but Tuna drops him down, and Berkey, the one counter, has already been accounted for.
Tuna has just been lights out with these headshots. Run them through walls, through cracks, through corners. It doesn't matter. The Odin will find you. Tuna will find you. It's a triple. And Camus now up 7-3. And again, you take a look right there in the middle of your screen. You see all but one round there. They've been able to get at least 2 rounds together, whereas we only see Lake Stevens putting up 1 round at a time. And so they never really hurt the economy of Camus. They never put them in a situation where they are in an eco, where they have that weapon disadvantage. And so I think that's what's been a little bit of an uphill battle for Lake Stevens, trying to close in on that 4th round. You'd love to see them get both of these final 2 rounds here, but at a minimum, you feel like they need at least 1.
And one of those could be thanks to one of those ults that we see being just held. That Rolling Thunder. We're getting these great concusses. Why not use something with a bit more firepower? Tuna's around the corner. You know that. Smoke him out. Nice.
Berkey will flush him out with a headshot.
Nice.
K-Pie will find one as well, and all of a sudden Lake Stevens is heating up, but Reyna from behind finds one and dashes to safety.
I always love the restraint that Camus's Reyna shows. Always uses that solo orb to instantly just try to step back. Unfortunately, Zika says, hello, ding dong, you're done. Opens the door right into the bullets of the Rays.
Want to see that from Zeke too. Want to see him getting more involved, getting some kills under the belt, getting comfortable, getting confident. Lake Stevens, 4v1 here now. In this post-plant position, Ronan is just going to send some shells through the wall. This is a tough retake. Has an ult, but might just be saving it for that final round of the half.
Suppressing fire. I mean, might as well just try to get some extra farm your way, right? Not flash out. Killjoy's around the corner. I don't know if you really want to test this, buddy. There's no sense in pushing yourself into a situation that demands a bit too much of you. It seems like Camus agrees. They just call to let Lake Stevens take this one. Oh! Why?
Ronan is a monster. They go on the hunt here and, well, find a couple kills. They don't get the round, but it doesn't matter. They continue to take weapons and economy away from Lake Stevens. It's the final round of the first half, and Lake Stevens has, again, been able to keep this one close. If they can close it out with another round win. Here's the problem, though. Camus always has money. We're looking at 2 ops and 2 Odins. This could be a disastrous round. 8 ults, and the other 2 very close.
They're the paper makers, hot sauce. I mean, what did you expect? How do you think they pay for all those quesadillas? You realize the inflation of the dollar value menu from Taco Bell? They don't care. For them, it's just all chump change. Ronan does not mind one bit. Those extra 2 kills going right into the bucket. And also Zika's head is going to join it.
Yeah, it's tough to get through. It really relies on that utility, and you don't want to allow them to isolate those 1v1s. We do see a bit of an early rotation coming in from Camus, and a shift away here from Lake Stevens. They got a chance to utilize numbers into the fade on the A site, but right now it's just a KJ 1v1. Here's the footsteps running away, catches him an elbow, and K-Pi is found at A site. Opens up, fast rotation from Lake Stevens, and this could be a big round for him.
Adult comes out as well as they know where the Reyna is, but just because you know where they are does not mean you can kill them. Parky gets the speedy plant off. Question is, how do we defend? There's a Rolling Thunder still available. 4 ults. We're up for Lake Stevens. The issue is Camus is the same story.
Diamond Dude has been a monster on the Vandal here as well. Slowly shifts forward through elbow. The neon wall goes up, looking for entry. Now the slide. Here comes the ult as well. And it's a point and click, but they're going to just opt to not use it. The Astra will pull him in here as well. And Panda and Parky combined for 2. Parky will put down Diamond Dude. It's all up to Reyna on the op, and time ticking away.
That one shot being missed, honestly, I think spells doom. You really have no chance now. It's a 3v1 where it could have been 2, and the pressure gets to you, the bullets as well. 5-7. I know this map's attacker favored, but like you've also mentioned, Hot, this composition from Lake Stevens is defensive favored. I have a feeling that those ultimates from Killjoy and Breach are going to be a lot easier to use when the enemy has to come to you.
I think we're getting word in chat here from my buddy Zin as well that Rogers may have been upset by Southridge here 13-8. So that number 4 seed may be advancing into the championships here for WSSEA. Lake Stevens, Camus potentially playing them. The winner of this game going on to play Southridge. Rogers will be duking it out for that 3rd place. And I think, again, it just reiterates how much talent is littered throughout all of these schools here at WSSEA. And it's been a very close season. Anything could happen in the postseason. Well, now we're witnessing a little bit of that.
This has been a very interesting back and forth, though it does feel like Camus, like you said, just kind of very able to infinitely print money. Lake Stevens now, they bear a bit more of the momentum on their side. They do have to make sure that they are covering the shifty play style here of Camus. 3-site maps also, as you mentioned, do cause you to have a bit more ground to cover. But I feel good knowing that Zeke doesn't have to be the first one into the fray. They just have to wait while the enemy comes to them.
We'll see if they have the patience to do so. Tuna and the crew are very explosive on the attacking side, especially of Lotus. So I imagine they won't have to wait too long before we see that explosiveness hit. Now, they've got Breach over here, though, and he is really good at slowing down that momentum, at kind of preventing some of those explosive initial pushes onto site. Of course, Rays here, you see this paint shell come out, and this is a common playoff rip. You throw it right toward this opening. You can often find a couple picks. You combine that with maybe a deadlock or something like that there that holds them in place, even a concuss. from Breach. It's even the suck from Astra. I mean, there's a lot of little combos you can use here to really help you get a couple big picks to open up the round and give yourselves that important player advantage.
Now, let's talk about this, Astra. The fact that Parky is playing a controller with such lethal precision has been the result of multiple clutches for Lake Stevens. A very impressive thing to do on a non-duelist character. And again, on defense, I think it's going to be even more easy to kind of guide Canvas into the trap that Lake Stevens sets.
Traps. Lake Stevens is going to need a few of them here on the defensive side here to try and lure him into maybe a safe sense of security. But I don't know. I feel like Camus, they don't really play too slow unless things don't go their way. But we haven't seen that too much. This is certainly a much closer series than we previously saw. Lake Stevens only down by 2. And if they can find a way to win the pistol round, you very well could be looking at a tied game.
I will note the fact that they've lost several rounds this time around. Camus maybe been knocked off their Iron Throne a little bit, maybe a bit of a chip on their shoulder, recognizing that it's not going to be the same walk in the park. But you've got to imagine a team with this level of experience, they knew that Lake Stevens was certainly not going to roll over and play dead. See if Reyna can make the real thing happen instead. Tries to find him with the revolver, but no one from Lake Stevens is biting on that hook.
Yeah, no need to re-peek once they've got control of the angle. Smart decisions here by the defense. You've got angles to fall back to allow them to pressure into your crosshair, but look at all this space it's already taken toward the seaside. I mean, Camus really has full control, and as the smoke goes down, they get even more control here. The plant will come in with ease. The concuss just a bit late on that one. No pressure through the smoke. Tuna spotted one, and Tuna will claim one.
That's a Parky as well, but Zika does answer back. Unfortunately, K-Pi is the cost of Solo Orbit in the pocket of the Reyna. Perky drops Tuna, as they've been known to do. DSW from the back. Sneaky, sneaky. Panda did not see that one coming.
Yeah, he teleports through the smoke just as Panda walks forward, so he doesn't get to see that animation of Omen teleporting just beside him. And usually you hear that audio cue, but sometimes you don't. Zeke does answer back, finds a big one on the road.
Nice
On
shot.
the Sheriff in the hands of Reyna has been deadly. The triple kill in the opening pistol round. Camus continues to rain down success. 20 now for Tuna. Almost everybody else in toward that double digits. And honestly, Lake Stevens not far behind. I mean, this has been a very close game with some very close rounds, but Camus just slightly better on these rounds so far here today.
That's unfortunate, man. There's several small aspects that you probably went a bit wrong. Concuss from Panda came just a little bit too late, and they unfortunately noticed the Omen was no longer there in front of them a little bit too late. You had Zeke going down without getting too much value off. You wanted to see more than just a one-for-one trade. Perky dropping Tuna was important, but in the long run, again, you have to contend with the Reyna as well. Double duelist is one more duelist than Lake Stevens has, and sometimes the numbers game is all that matters.
Well, we already see Berkey getting a little piece of the prize there from Rotom, caught off guard. Zeke will find one. Parky with a classic, and this is an eco round that they shouldn't win. They've turned it around. Can they gather some weapons? Hot.
They don't.
Immediately here, but Tuna, they're aware that Tuna's tucked in toward tree. It's a fish out of water, and can they find the pick?
I don't know, the fact that Tuna's the one left alive with the spike in pocket leaves me a bit scared. Parky left dead. Tuna for Tuna. Tuna for Tuna. As they manage to get finished off by Panda, Diamond Dude sweeps up the remains. I just had a shaking in my bones. The moment you leave the Neon as one of the last alive, all of a sudden they enter God mode.
I mean, looking for the ace. Panda barely shuts down the ace. Unfortunately, they had a little bit of backup there in Diamond Dude, and it's an easy pick. 9-5 now. Camus looking for their ticket into the finals, and they won't have to fight the #1 seed of Rogers, who's been upset moments ago. It will be Southridge, who is, I would say, equally as dangerous, though. And so his 1 through 4 seeds are really just numbers when these teams have that much talent.
24-9 is disgusting. ADA there, but no surprise here. Targets pop. But that's okay, Rotom pops the util right through it. Parky just continuing to try to manipulate the pawns on the board. Panda takes down the Queen. That's already a solid start. Parky drops DSW inside the smoke, though. Tuna catches Zeke unaware.
Little back and forth. Like Stevens trying to put a couple rounds together in a row. That's the important thing here.
Nice!
Diamond Dude with the Spectre. He's outgunned, but he's outnumbered, but it doesn't matter. Diamond Dude on the Spectre finding a couple big picks. We'll toss up the smoke screen here as well and maybe toy with the idea of him shifting to the other side, but Berkey doesn't take the bait. It's cool, calm, and collected, staying true to the objective. And, well, they get a big round win here, down by 3 and looking to fight back.
Both teams played that as you should have. Diamond Dude, unfortunately, just, spent a bit too much time fighting a target that had most of its body in cover, but they won the pistol fight. The issue was, or the gunfight, the issue was, of course, you have 5 health remaining. There's 2 members still left with clean bills of health. What are you going to do there? Maybe you could have tried to reposition instead of just kind of slamming your head against that wall. They knew you were there. You knew they were waiting for you to peek. Diamond Dude had faith in that trigger finger and that crosshair placement. Sadly, this time around, it lets them down. That's okay. Tuna's back up alive and swimming strong.
Yeah, and they've got a few rounds to give, so no harm, no foul just yet. They don't got to feel the weight of the pressure here, as it is Lake Stevens fighting from behind. The spray from the Odin through the tree, but nobody's home. Tuna shifting toward the site. We see that rotation from Lake Stevens now through the spawn. It looks a bit discombobulated, but Berkey on the step out finds one.
A couple times now where the Rangers have not had their crosshair placements good around the peak. TP comes through. Berkey knows it, but the Omen did need some bullets in retort. Ronum's, though, got the Odin. Not even needed. Tuna already drops Parky. Ronum obliterates Zeke, but Panda does gobble up the fish.
And Zeke through the sky, but it didn't matter. Ronum, quick flick of the wrist. Now DSW finds Pie. Berkey back the other way. Now Ronum on to Panda. It's a 1v2. And it all comes down to this Fade, who has ult. And unleash the Nightmare if they wanted to. Ronum tucked with the Odin, a Nightmare in its own right, and you gotta check all the angles from the heaven side.
No!
Finds one, but he's behind you. Peekaboo, Diamond Dude. He's always that last one alive, always lurking in the shadows, and always seeming to find the big clutch when it matters most. Camus now up to 10. It's up to Lake Stevens to either check it or choke it.
You make a really great point. The fact that Diamond Dude has the least amount of deaths in the entire lobby, 8. Next swap would be Reyna's 9. And that is a very useful factor. The fact that you have a character who can hold the line a bit better, given the fact that they have that cyber cage, they can play a bit more trickstery around it. They're not very honest with the way they fight you because they have that utility that can kind of misdirect your attention. So Diamond Dude doing a really good job of being a diamond, hard, resolute, immovable.
Not always easy to have that patience either, especially for me, but even I think, for younger students, but to show that poise, to show that patience, speaks volumes for the skill and the hard work they put in. K-Pie gonna serve that one up, though. It's a beautiful headshot onto the Reyna. Tuna will dip back to safety, avoiding the utility here as well. Parky gonna drop some stars and maybe some bars, but Tuna sliding it toward elbow. Zeke has to be careful. Audio is heard, but does get back to Waterfall in time. Plant still able to go down.
Overdrive's available for the Neon. I don't think they're liable to rip it just yet, knowing that already had man disadvantage. Maybe not even necessary. Tuna drop Zeke, though. Berkey answers back onto DSW. Ooh.
My thoughts exactly. Shifting through the smoke, it spells trouble. Now the ult does come out from Tuna. Wants to solidify the round and does. Guess what? It's another quadra kill for Tuna. Not quite the ace, but a 30 bomb nonetheless. 30 big ones, 11 deaths, an assist on the board as well. Diamond Dude, 15, 9, and 6 assists. But you look at the assists for everybody other than Tuna there, and it's getting close to double digits. It just goes to show you again how well this team plays together, consistently finding round wins in bunches. And again, looking at the middle of the screen there, we've only seen one time where Lake Stevens has been able to put more than one round on the board together. That has been that tough thing for them here.
I said St. Nick is giving Ronan these Odins. It's Tuna. It's Tuna with a Santa beard. The sugarfish of the entire family, and they're just tossing out free weaponry. Just, why not? I got all these kills in my pocket, 30 now, disgusting, and they're spreading the love. They're making sure that their other teammates are enabled. In the case that I fall, I know you guys can carry us to victory nonetheless.
Well, Zeke, I think maybe had a small PC problem, so we'll work on getting Zeke loaded back in here as well. But honestly, I mean, this is a great time out for Lake Stevens. You get to talk some strategy over the next couple rounds, assess the economic issues, and even maybe at a minimum, just slow down some of this momentum that Camus seems to have, because they are just flowing with energy right now. And We talk about how deadly they are on this attacking side of Lotus, especially with the composition that they run. And they've already won 4 of the 5 rounds here in the second half. And guess what? They only need 2 more to find that ticket into the championship, where they'll be taking on Southridge, I believe, December 10th.
Little known strategy, the strategic disconnect. Nah, I'm kidding. Hopefully Lake Stevens can get that fixed up rather speedily. But you're right. You can take this moment to try to recollect, breathe a little bit. Lake Stevens haven't done the shabbiest job of the defensive end, but despite this composition feeling like it's inclined for this side of the playing field, they haven't really fulfilled on that vision. Why do we think that is, Hot Sauce? What can Lake Stevens do to make that defense a bit more stalwart?
I mean, I think this is just 2 very talented teams, and Canvas is playing just a little bit better. I think, even though it is 11-6, I would say we've seen probably 3 of these rounds come down to a single 1v1 where it could have gone either way. And so I think Lake Stevens is doing a lot of what they need to. The problem now is they are in some economic issues, but they don't really have rounds to give. So they're stuck on that seesaw, that teetering position of, okay, do we play for overtime? Do we let them get to 12, have a full buy, and hope to get 6 in a row? Or do we hope to win a scrappy round with some stingers here and potentially extend the longevity here of this series a bit? But it's just a tough position to be in. Lake Stevens, a very talented team, but Camus also undefeated for a reason, also has a huge round differential in a lot of their games that have ended, 13-3, 13-1. And so, I think it's just one of those tough teams where you might be playing a team that's just a little bit better. But, I mean, I don't know how many times we've seen the better team be upset, especially in these scholastic leagues. And Lake Stevens has the ability to do so. But, I mean, now it basically starts in this round or the following one. And, again, it's just such an uphill battle at this point.
I mean, talk about upsets. We just got to see one happen on the other side of the bracket, right? So if there's any day to do it, Lake Stevens, now certainly might be your time. There's enough luck and skill to go around to any team that has the will to claim it for themselves. But Camus are certainly in the better position. I'm sure they're feeling good about it. They have momentum behind them. And again, I think they just feel a bit more liberal when it comes to, I'm going to keep repeating this point until the cows come home, but gosh darn it, it's important. Ult usage. They are more willing to let that rip right back half of the round of the retake attempt from Lake Stevens. You see the overdrive get popped to amazing succession from Tuna. And then you see Panda. Have we seen a single Rolling Thunder be unleashed by this breach? I'm not sure, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, maybe one, but I agree. I'm not sure if we have seen it be ripped. And so sometimes that boils down to team communication, and how new the team is together. Do you have that leader? Do you have that comfortable player who's okay stepping out and say, hey, guys, we've got those ults. We got to use them. If not this round, next round. And you got to kind of orchestrate that. And so these are some of those great, personal skills that some of these young students get to develop over time. They work on the team communication. They work on strategy and figuring out problems like that as well. So there's a lot of real life skills that they get to address when playing games like this. And it's just something that they have to navigate together. And sometimes it's tough to do that while the game is happening. That's why we say VOD review is so important. There's a lot of things that you might miss when you go back, you watch that view or that VOD, not just as an individual, but as a team as well. You pause, you break down things that went wrong and where you could have done things differently. But a ton of talent here in Lake Stevens. I think Camus is just playing so well today. Just came hot off of a win on Lotus as well. So I think they're very prepared for this map.
Spray through the door. Berkey knows they're coming, says, gulp, they're right behind me, aren't they? They say, I'm just going to go right into the fray, or maybe sneak around the door. So comedic, but DSW says, nope, not a comedy, it's a tragedy instead. And if you're a Lake Stevens fan, certainly the case. 4 members already erased.
Yeah. Domino effect in full effect yet again. K-Pi has been spotted, stuck between a rock and a diamond. Dude, what you gotta do? Nothing, dude. 12-6. Camus 1 away from that championship December 10th matchup against Southridge. And it's going to be an exciting one. Should they be able to finish this off here? Most likely 2 undefeated teams that will clash one more time. Camus just has to get 1 of the next 6 rounds, D'Lo.
All that armor, all that Odin, and all of that tuna, all you can eat for this fish right here. Awfully large bounty on it, bigger than Jaws. We're gonna need a bigger boat if you're on Lake Stevens' side. Hopefully they've got the funds to keep afloat.
Gonna be a tough round. They've got that rolling thunder. They've got that showstopper, and they most likely need to let them ring out here. But look at the mini map. Nobody's home. It's a wide open seaside Camus. They've guessed correctly, and they're looking to take full advantage. But Panda looking to claw his way back, and maybe now the rolling thunder will come out.
Lightning strikes twice. K-Pi finds the second kill on Doronum. Diamond Dude is going to trade out, but Zika makes it a double on top of DSW. No showstopper needed, but Tuna stops Parky in place. Stop meditating, sucker. We're in a battle. Zika, though, off the 3K. Going to be able to find the defuse as well. Lake Stevens stays alive.
Still in it. Still in it to win it, and that's what I love about this young talent here at WSSEA. It doesn't matter what the outcome may look like. It doesn't matter if the scoreline is 12-5 or 12-1. These students continue to fight it out, just tooth, grit, and nail all the way to the very end. And it's refreshing to see. You know, sometimes it can be tough when you're down by a lot, but great mental on these young students. Fighting all the way to the very end here is Lake Stevens. They've gotten another important round, but they need 5 more in a row. They've got a big buy, including an Odin, in the hands of Berkey. We'll see if they can make it happen here this time. Round number 20.
Ooh, careful there, Tuna. Use that slipstream there to quickly slither on back to safety, but Tuna knows no bounds of safety as they try to go right back up to harassing and haranguing the front line. Diamond Dude succeeds. K-Pi's the first one down. Neural Theft's here.
Intel will go out. Lake Stevens, that rolling thunder is still there. They've got the showstopper as well. They need to let these ults out at some point, but they're running out of time. Showstopper! ESW goes down. Panda will find Reyna. It's still a 2v3 that favors Camus, and that rolling thunder will eventually come out. It's a second late, though. The plant's still able to go down.
Okay, Rotom is, though, injured for it, and Panda's going to finish off the job. Tuna takes down Zika. It's all up to the breach, and unfortunately, they're left in defeat. Camus, it might have been a harder battle, but it's the same result. They take it.
From a 13-0 to a 13-7. 2 games done and dusted for the number 2 seed of Camus. They do it in dominating fashion. Tuna had an absolute field day here in game number 2. 30-plus kills. I think 5 first bloods, 5 for Reyna as well. When you're consistently finding those opening frags, consistently giving yourself that player advantage, it often plays out in your favor. GG's to Lake Stevens on a great postseason run here, but we tip our hats again to Camus as they get 2-0 done. They advance into the finals, and what a great performance by them here on Lotus. I'm taking note if I'm Southridge. Maybe, just maybe, I'm staying away from Lotus.
They had all the time in the world. This was their playground in that quarterfinals match that we got to see, and they're just, it's the monkey bars, it's the swing set, it's the jungle gym, it's familiar, it's comfort, and for them, it's another win in their pockets as they ascend to that grand finals spot. Now they reign as the highest seed left in the bracket too, so they are poised in a perfect position to take it all. Tuna, man, seafood's already expensive enough. Market price about to raise up $3. Disgusting performance there by the big fish.
Yeah, and honestly, the whole crew, though, you know, we saw Ronom earlier, Diamond Dude, everybody really putting in the work, the Odins, the Ops. I mean, this is a team that will annoy you if you don't handle them quickly. And it seems like their economy is always in check. They consistently find round wins. And so I think if teams want to topple them, they have to be able to put rounds in succession, in multiples here, because Camus, they do it so consistently well, time and time again.
Absolutely. And all the esports talent we got here is able to make consistent, amazing strives for victory, even when it doesn't come up in your favor. They're still, like you said, fighting tooth and nail to the finish. That's the grit and ferocity we want to see. And it's what we develop here as part of LANFest, one of our amazing sponsors. This broadcast is, in fact, part of LANFest Scholastic's esports program. A program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LANFest delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. We provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, schools, and teams we cover. Your generous donations are what makes that possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for one regular season broadcast. If you appreciate our work, scan that QR code on the screen and donate today. Open your hearts and maybe, just maybe, open up your pocketbooks.
Absolutely. It's always for a great cause. We'll remind you there's some crazy Street Fighter 6 semifinals going on tomorrow at the same time. I believe it's Nooksack Valley versus Wapato going head to head for that. Just another great fun day. We got 2 games today of Valorant as well, and it's just always an honor to be in the booth with you, Dilo. Always a fun time with you, my man.
You say Black Friday deals have gotten worse over time? Nah, 2-for-1 Dilo Hot Sauce Special, and likewise, my friend, it's been a pleasure. But unfortunately, as far as more WSSEA action to come, that's all we got for you here today. Thank you all very much for watching Valorant action, quarter, playoffs, as well as those semifinals. Stick around for the grand finale coming at you shortly in the future. I've been Dilo. Join here in the booth my friend Hot Sauce, Almighty Eyes in the Sky, Connie on the console, as well as Taylor. Please thank our production for all they do. We cannot yell at games without them. And last, but certainly not least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed this broadcast just as much as we have. Keep an eye to the sky for more WSSEA Landfest content coming at you. Until then, good games and good night.
Go, go, go! Taken out. I'm out of
It is.
Spike planted. Last player standing. I'll find you. There, take them! Mark 2. One enemy remaining.
They will cover. The rush.
One enemy remaining.
Be grateful I killed your queen. Cage triggered.
Go, go, go! One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Hostile removed. One down.
I'm out of here. Last player standing. Here we go! One enemy remaining. She's slow.